Hey, it's your health and wellness coach Marisha here checking in. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. I'm well. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, or if this is your fifth or sixth or seventh, or how many videos I have and you're returning and you watched a little of every little video, thank both of you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm going to get comfortable and talk about something that may or may not, I don't know. Yeah, I know the yawns. They like to come in. So moderation definitely is something that the world likes to drill and run over and over and over to people, telling them that moderation is okay. I'm not going to be long-winded today. I'll try not to be. Moderation definitely can harm you. Definitely can get to the point of even killing you. Because if you take that word or you use that context in something for someone who, let's say, who is already extremely ill, are you going to give them something in moderation that can kill them? Like if the doctor, if you go to the doctor and they say, if you have any of this, you will die. Even a little of it. No, you're not. So, I feel like that over time, if you know you are dealing with something that can harm you, meaning you know already it's no good, I'm going to say drinking alcohol is no good. That in moderation is no good. Poison in any moderation is no good, okay? Of course, people will be on the defense and say, yeah, no, moderation is okay. You can have something every little bit now and then, but let's say, according to this Gregorian calendar, right? If we have every little bit now and then, once a month, that's 12 times out of the year. Not saying how much of it you're going to have in that one time, right? Excuse me. If you have a large amount once a month, that definitely can put an effect on your body. I bet even the people out there in the world who like to do moderation have something more than moderation or moderate. Only have it here and there. If you log what you eat, whether it be in your phone or you write it down, you actually get probably a bigger number than what you are assuming. Because also, I feel like people they don't like to count something that's not in full. So if they had a half a chip, it doesn't count as a serving. It's that doesn't count. I just ate that. So now the next chip counts. So if you really calculated what it was you were consuming, you would probably be far more in it than you really think you are. And if you are a person who likes moderation or is team moderation, then I would suggest, if you don't do it, to log what it is that you're talking about having in moderation every time you have it. And I'm talking about a lick, a sip, a taste, everything. All of it counts. And here's the oxymoron, since I just said that. In the world of us doing better, right? Everybody says, oh, every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. Every little bit adds up. So the oxymoron to that is what I'm talking about. Having something in moderation. So if every little bit counts, you don't think that's going to add up and harm you? This is why I said the world, or the people who are in charge of sharing this information, are intentionally putting out stuff to confuse you. So they'll say one thing and then they'll pay somebody else to do exact opposite. And it's happening, and it's been happening. And that's why the veganism thing has become a big trend now. And not even like for health, right? Like the bigger picture is just, oh, let's just be vegan. And nothing else behind it. Don't know anything else behind it. But tracking definitely will make you have a whole aha moment. And I am not here to say or bash anybody, because prior to me even really thinking about the word moderation, I used to be that person. So there's a difference to me now. This yawning boy. There's a difference between weaning off to me and moderation, because moderation can go on and 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 on. You never plan to stop doing whatever it is. When you're weaning off, literally means that there's going to be a breaking point where there's going to be a break in service, or a permanent break in service, where you're not consuming or doing whatever it is that you're weaning off of. So that is another argument or debate I've had with people. They're like, oh, it's the same thing. It's you know, weaning off. I'm gonna stop eating it. No, moderation is not the same as tweaking. Those are two different things. Just to be clear with it, clear the air. And if that's something that you didn't know prior to, I hope that helps you moving forward in conversation with those who try to come at you. So, in light of moderation, I've said this in previous video, I think the only time moderation matters to me is in working out, because now you are building up to something. So you have to modify, which is same difference, like you're doing something at the comfort of, how do I explain this? You're probably getting this while I'm trying to think about it. So like modifying a movement will benefit you, right? Whereas even if you modify what you're eating, and it's crazy, like processed, fake, you know, it's full of crap. Even if you modify it, eat it, and you plan on never not eating it. Yeah, I said that right. You're killing yourself. Moderation in exercise, you're working up to strengthen yourself. So that is the only time that I would consider the M word, the whole modification, modifying. Outside of that, yeah, you got the snap, crackle, and pop of water. Yeah, so you know, just again, when I share stuff in these videos, it's based off experience. It's based off of reading. It's based off of research. It's just a collab of things. And I realize that when we modify, we are extending the ailment or whatever it is that we're trying to get rid of. And then we're like, well, why is it taking so long to leave? Why is it moving so slow? Because you have to look back at what you're modifying as far as what you're consuming. And that literally can be the thing that makes or breaks you to moving over your plateau. You just like, wow, like I'm gonna use the drinking for an example. I used to be a part of Weight Watchers back in the day. I wasn't that big, but you know what? I'm gonna see if I could get some help with posting my before and after. But to me, I was, because I was athletic growing up, dancing, track and field, varsity track and field runner. So me, the way as big as I got was big to me. People, have always a tendency to say, "Oh no, you look good." I didn't like it, so I used to run track. Got big after I stopped. I stopped running. I was running from 6 years old to damn near 20, and then went to college. And I didn't continue my studies with track and field. And life just literally slowed down because I was doing dance and track, so I was not eating the best either, and I was still eating like I was burning, doing both sports, right? So in my mid-20s, I was in Weight Watchers, and I would go to the meetings on Saturdays, and I would weigh in first thing. What time did we have this meeting? Or was it Sunday? I don't remember. Anyway, I didn't eat till after I weighed in. So that tells you how hard I was going. And then I took off my shirt. I would have my sports bra. I would have some little shorts and take off my socks, put paper towel on the scale because I was trying to get it down to the T. And I was getting frustrated because I was just like, oh my gosh, why am I working out twice a day, teaching dance 6 days out the week, and still my weight is fluctuating like this or going up? So the person who was leading at the time was just like, yo, write down what you're eating. Like, I used to do it, but I wouldn't be consistent. That's another thing too. So I wasn't consistent. So she was like, be consistent with what you're doing. And I came in the following, I think it was Sundays. Anyway, I came in and she looked at my journal, my food log. She was like, oh, there's the problem. You are drinking all of your success away. Bye. That's where you're messing up at. And guess what? I wasn't even drinking like that. Like, I could hang with the big boys with the drinking. That's no biggie. But I would drink drinks that were high in sugar. So literally liquid sugar. And having like 2 of them, even regardless of me burning anything off. The time of the night, your body's not burning. I'm consuming, your body should be burning at that time. So, you're hanging out late. So that's already one, I'm throwing my body off. 2, the amount of sugar I was consuming. And then 3, it was in the time block that I was doing it. So it wasn't even spaced out because it was here on this day and I was weighing in on this day. So it was in the system still, because liquor take a good 24, 48 hours to really get out of your system depending on how much you drink. So I'm bringing this up because the moderation thing was not working for me with alcohol. It was not working, and it was literally the demise of my success. I was working out, going hard with how I was tracking, how I was eating, being, on point with my portions. And at this time, I was still consuming meat and stuff, more snacks, more processed stuff, but I was still very anal about what I was consuming. And then I ruined it in one day, every week. And then people know I'm so passionate, like, there is no in between. It's anger or happiness. I think I have a between for children and elderly. That's about it. But even then, it's modest. Oh, modified, yeah. There's certain places in life where modification works, but I don't think it works well with food. And you will see that food journaling will change your life. I'll do a video on that, but whole aha moment when I saw, when she pointed that out, that it was the alcohol. That's when I started weaning off. And I made 9 years of no alcohol January 20th of this year. And although there are other things that I'm weaning off of, because there's a whole list of things that are going on, not just physically, I found that I feel the greatest right now, without the alcohol, and knowing that was screwing me up, even in being modified. So listen, sit down and see what the things, or listen to yourself when you modify and you say, oh, I can, have it in moderation. I feel like people who are dealing with ailments, which we all are to a degree, right? Because not all ailments are visible. And not all of them are like punching you in your face, like you can feel it, right? There's some things that just are, what is the term? They're in a sedative state. You're not gonna feel it, you're not gonna see it till it's like there's any disease, whether it be cancer, whether it be a sneeze, a cough, they're dormant. Is that the word? Dormant. They have a time to be like that. They're just quiet, and it's there, and it's adding up, and it will take over. So if you have these little red flags and you're ignoring them, that's you. You're gonna have to deal with that. That's a sign to tell you to stop dealing with the moderation. And you need to move away from this thing. It's a no. You can't have it. You gotta wean off of it, and you have to say goodbye. You'll be okay without it. If you are a person who is not at the best of your health, the word moderation shouldn't even be coming out your mouth. I can have it in moderation. You have to fix your emotion that is tied with that. That's a little deeper. But you have to deal with it. And you should not be the one promoting any moderation. Moderation is not it. Moderation is going to keep you held back. Moderation is going to keep you frustrated. Moderation is also going to keep you in the same non-productive circle of the people or things that you are around that's not moving anywhere. So you keep moderating everything, and you're going to see it reflect in your life. Once you remove one thing, you'll see that you'll have space for something else, whether it be physically where your blood runs smoother. See, moderation to keep your lymph system backed up. But now if you stop modifying, you clear out your lymph and your blood is ready to move and get stuff out of there. Don't modify anything. Don't modify your friendships if it ain't working. Let it go. Love them from the distance. Send light to them from the distance. You ain't gotta talk to them. You ain't gotta deal with family. Everybody, oh, you can have the moderation. Oh, it's just one cookie. Oh, it's just this. Because they're feeding you their emotion. They want you to stay where they're at. Because people think that once you do better, you act like you're better than everybody. And in my head, I say, yeah, you are. Because you're better than yourself than you was yesterday as well. So you are in that better than everybody circle. Okay, don't let that go over your head. But you could do it. Put your back into it. And this is a message for me as well. Again, as I talk to you, I talk to myself all the time. And I'm gonna modify this video. And I'm gonna chat with you another time. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of what I've said tonight. Yeah. And trust me, last thing, there are some things in my life that I was modifying that I had a reality check, and I had to, again, now it's just like Spirit was like, no, it's a wrap. You have to tweak and say bye-bye. Bye. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.